You know, my concern is, and I realize these are free sites. We're getting information. I think a lot of folks don't really think about how much information they're sharing, but they're giving us free, a free site to use. They always have that thing, click here if you agree to our terms of, usage or whatever it is. They're forever long, and we want to get on with our business. We click it. Should it be incumbent upon us to have to opt out of these things, or should it be up to the company to have us opt into what we want to share?
These terms of service are crazy. Sometimes they go on for hundreds of pages.
Right.
And it's buried in the legalese exactly what they're going to do. The fact of the matter is, on a lot of these websites, you're getting a free service. In some cases, a really great free service. I love the photo sharing site Flickr, and I love Facebook. But there's a quid pro quo going on. I get to use this incredible service for free. They harvest all of my data and use it to sell ads that are targeted pretty tightly to me. In some ways, it can improve the advertising experience. You get ads that make a lot more sense, that might have to do with something you're seeking to purchase. But in other ways, it's pretty terrifying. I think these terms of service, they're due for a major overhaul. It doesn't make any sense. It certainly doesn't serve the consumer. And it's about time we started figuring out how to talk to people in clear ways, in honest ways, about what's happening when you use these web services.
And sometimes they're just wrong. And here's the, I think, down the road problem we're going to be facing. My 6-year-old got an advertisement for a credit card. My 18-year-old got an advertisement for a mortgage. She can't afford Taco Bell, let alone a house mortgage. Obviously, they get information and they don't use it properly. Whatever they extrapolate from it, they make wrong assumptions. This could be used against us. If a company is deciding whether to lend us money and they can find out that we've been looking at help wanted websites, even if it's for a relative, they make an assumption that person needs a job. I'm not lending them money. Isn't that a real possibility?
Oh, there's a lot of dangers here. I mean, I think if you look at the history of advertising, it took some time when a new medium came along like radio or television to figure out what was appropriate, what were like the code of ethics for online advertising. We need to figure out what the code of ethics are for online advertising. You look at, when television advertising first started, kind of the struggle to figure out television advertising to children, and also the struggle over hard liquor being advertised on television. We're a long way from figuring out kind of the norms and what's appropriate. And part of the challenge is our culture is kind of shifting. Our attitudes towards privacy are changing pretty substantially and very dramatically generation to generation. Making it even harder to figure out what these kinds of, what's going to be appropriate and what's not.
I know. I've got teenagers, every thought they utter goes onto, Facebook or they tweet. I mean, I don't get it. Maybe I'm just an old fuddy-duddy. I don't get the need to share every single thought that comes into your head with everybody else. But is there a point when sharing information that you haven't necessarily put on there, that they have extrapolated from your account and they then have sold, is there a point that becomes illegal, or is this all above board legally?
Right now, it's all above board legally. One of the things to watch for in these terms of service is if the terms of service withholds the right to sell your data to a third-party provider. That's when it gets really scary. You have these companies, third-party providers, amassing huge amounts of information across multiple websites, and it can get pretty terrifying about how they manage that information, the extent to which they track it and save it.